All right, welcome back. So we're going to go do some cloud platform basics before we start going towards machine learning a little more if we got to that foundational work. But before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe, and share for anyone going into the GCP machine learning certification. All right, so before diving into sophisticated machine learning workloads on GCP, you need to understand the foundational infrastructure that makes everything possible. Think of GCP as a massive data center that you can access through your browser or command line. Except instead of managing physical servers, network cables, and cooling systems, you work with logical abstractions that Google manages for you. This tutorial explores the organizational structures, security mechanisms, geographic distribution, and billing systems that underpin every ML project you build on GCP. So, for machine learning engineers, understanding these fundamentals isn't just about passing a certification, it's about making intelligent architectural decisions. Should your training data live in the same region as your Vertex AI workloads? Which service account needs access to your BigQuery datasets? How do you prevent runaway training costs from consuming your entire budget? These questions all trace back to the platform basics we're about to explore. So, your workspace. Every resource you create in Google Cloud, every virtual machine, storage bucket, machine learning model, or database belongs to exactly one project. A GCP project serves as the fundamental organizational unit and the logical container for all your cloud resources. Think of it as a secure, isolated workspace where your team develops and deploys applications. When you first access the Cloud Console, which you should see, you'll see a project selector in the top navigation bar. This dropdown, right, shows your current project and allows you to switch between projects or create new ones. Each project has three identifiers that serve different purposes. All right. So, project name, right? You'll see this here. All right. So, this is a human readable label you choose. Like you could name it ML production, customer analytics, dev, UAT, etc. This helps you and your team quickly identify projects in the console. You can change the project name at any time without affecting resources or breaking configurations. The project ID. So this is a globally unique permanent identifier automatically generated when you create a project. So you see there could be like Terraform GCP, right? With a bunch of digits behind it. Oops, didn't mean to click on that. Or whatever that relates to it. Once created, project IDs never change. They're immutable. The permanence makes project IDs the reliable reference for API calls, command line tools, and automation scripts. When writing code that interacts with GCP services, always use the project ID, not the project name. Then you have the project number. Where is it? I don't see it. Um, oh, there we go. So this one, there it is. Okay, so the project, this is a numerical identifier automatically assigned by Google, right? A bunch of characters. It serves primarily for internal Google Cloud operations and legacy integrations. Most modern applications use the project IDs. So you don't have to worry about it, but just understand what it is. So why do projects matter for machine learning? Projects provide crucial organizational and security boundaries for machine learning workloads. When you create a Vertex AI training job, it runs with specific projects, right? The job, or a specific project, excuse me. The job can only access resources like datasets, storage buckets, BigQuery tables in the same project that it was created in, or that have been explicitly shared across projects. This isolation prevents accidental cross-contamination between development, testing, and production environments. So consider a typical ML organization structure. You might have three projects: ML development, ML staging, ML production, right? Data scientists can experiment freely in the development project without risking production systems. And once models prove their worth, they're promoted to staging for validation and finally deployed to production. And each environment remains isolated with separate budgets, access controls, and monitoring. So how do you create this? Let's walk through this in the console. All right, so you click the selector, then click new project. All right, and then you'll have pieces of information. So ML, let's call this ML certification. All right. And we don't have an organization, so you don't have to worry about that. All right. So you can name it anything: fraud detection, customer analytics, etc. Right. And GCP will auto-generate a project ID based off the current project name plus some random numbers. So you can customize this ID, but remember it's permanent once it's created. And so remember that your organization may have a naming convention you should follow, whatever your company is named. All right. Click create. And we'll use this as we go. Um, so yeah, if your company uses GCP organizations, which I told you we're not using, you'll select that where the project belongs in the organizational hierarchy. You also link a billing account to fund resource usage. And then once you click create, Google will provision your project in a few seconds, as you can see, and you'll now have an empty workspace where we can go and work from here. All right. And the project starts with default networking, basic IAM policies, and standard service accounts, but there's no billable resources yet. All right, so that's our initial lesson for this. Thank you for joining. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and share with anyone you know taking the GCP machine learning certification. Thank you. Have a good day.